All right. Make sure I'm live on Trouble Don't Last. I don't think I'm live. Come on, man. How you guys doing? Hey, I'm trying to go live on my other Instagram page really quick. Let me make sure I'm using my Wi-Fi. I hope everybody's doing stupendous and amazing, man. I got a very spirit-filled message for you guys right now. So let me make sure I can go live. It's about being bored. So if you have a problem with being bored at all, this message is for you, especially if you're not a teenager and not a little kid, but if you're a grown adult and you get bored at all, this message is for you. So come on, go live. All right, I'm live on Trouble Don't Last now. Okay, guys, so here we go. So, man, dang it, poor connection, reconnecting. Come on, don't do that to me. My daily Bible is reconnecting, so let's hope that it doesn't have any problems. How you guys doing? What's up? What's up? All right. I just hope I don't have no bad connection problems. But all right, so it is 4:30 a.m. and today's date is November 20th, 2020. And like I told you guys in my last video I just did before this, um, my best thoughts come late at night in the wee hours of the morning. And when I take a shower, for some odd reason, I wish I had a voice activated laptop. Like I can't wait till technology advances more, where I could say like, I could say my ideas on my email or something. Just write it down by saying it. Because when I'm in the shower, man, I get some great thoughts. And one thought that I had in my mind is this quote right here, and it just came to my mind. So this is a quote from God. The Spirit was speaking, and it is this: If you get bored, you don't know your purpose. If you get bored, you don't know your purpose. So here goes a question for you guys. Do you ever get bored? Do you ever get bored? And remember what I said. If you get bored, you don't know your purpose. That is so sad to me. Like one of my pet peeves is when people say they're bored. They're bored. That is one of my biggest pet peeves, man. Because I feel like it's unacceptable for a person who's over 25, and definitely you're any older than 25, to ever be bored. To ever be bored. Why? Because you've been on Earth way too long. You had too many opportunities. You've seen too much. You experienced way too many things. You witnessed too many. I keep on going, man. You had too much exposure to figure out what are you passionate about, what you love, what you should be doing. You've been alive for way too long. So if you're 50 years old, 60, Lord help you if you're 90 and don't know what your purpose is. Man, you're about to die. Like, come on, man. So see, I understand a kid, a little teenager, even especially an 8-year-old, like if they don't know their purpose is okay. Because I mean, they're going through puberty, they got hormones, like high school drama, you name it, man. They got a lot of stuff going on. They're trying to figure out what they love, and what they're passionate about. But for a grown adult, a grown woman, and a man, for you to be bored, really, really, that's pathetic, man. So, What did God call you to do? That only you can do. What did God call you to do that only you can do? All right. So I want you to think about that question. Because if you knew your purpose, you wouldn't be able to sit down. You wouldn't be able to sleep. Guys, I told you it's 4:30 a.m. Now it's 4:33 a.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee, where I live. I live in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, technically. Um, and I can't sleep, man, because I got too much stuff to do. My ministry is too important to me. What God called me to do is too important to me. I don't like sleeping. I hate sleep. Why? Because like if you're captivated with purpose, if you're in line with the purpose and on the path of where God called you to be, do you know what you would be doing? Man, you will be pouring into that nonstop. You wouldn't be able to sleep because you're too passionate about it. You love it too much. You know that it's a need there, and only you can do it. Only you can fulfill it. You know what I'm trying to say? So you won't ever get sleep because you be pouring into it so much that you crash. You don't even sleep. You crash because you're on fire. And when you got that fire going, you're in your zone, and you're working, man, you can't, nothing compares to it. You know what I'm saying? If you know what your purpose is, you know what I'm saying. So, man, like, do you get bored? Really? You get bored? What? Oh my gosh. I'm not even done yet, man. So if you knew your purpose, you would know that there's so much work to be done. There's so much more you can pour in, so much more you can do. You know how many YouTube videos I still need to do? Do you know how many I still gotta pour in my podcast, man. Lord help the people that subscribe to my podcast. I haven't put no videos up. Man, there's so many messages I told you on my YouTube channel I need to do, like Jesus rejected in Nazareth. Do you know there's a story in the Bible where Jesus was about to be thrown off the edge of a cliff when he went back to his hometown in Nazareth? I still haven't done that video yet. When Jesus calmed the storm, I got some videos on my YouTube channel, but I haven't done the complete lesson yet. You know what I'm saying? So like there's so many things that we need to do. So if you knew your purpose, you'll be so passionate about it that you know that there's work to be done. You guys get what I'm saying. So with all your being, you should be trying to get to this place in your life. So there's no reason to be bored if you don't know what your purpose is. There's no reason to ever be bored. Why? Because this is why God created you. This is why God bless you with life. This is why you are here. What are you doing? Really? Man, you're so selfish and you're wasting your life and you're living for yourself and you're outside of God's will and where God wants you to be if you're not searching for this, searching for what your purpose is. That's why you're bored because you're pouring in and doing the wrong things. You're going to the wrong places and doing the wrong things and you're not going to the source of your being, of why you were created. And you wonder why you don't know what your purpose is. You wonder why you're so bored. It's so obvious, man. Like we got to do better, man. Especially if you're older than if you're man. The older you are, and you don't know your purpose, man. I pray for you. We all pray for you, man. Because that just shows that you ain't been in God's will. You ain't been doing what God called you to do. You've been slacking. Is that you? Really, really? Come on, man. So, man, you have something to offer the world, and you have something that the world is needing. And if you don't know what your purpose is, you're hurting this world. You want to know why there's so much trouble and so many problems in this world? Because you don't know because so many people don't know what the purpose is. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing in this life. And they're doing the wrong things. That explains everything. And people who are on my Twitter page and follow my Twitter, Trouble Don't Last, you guys know I send y'all a message all the time on Trouble Don't Last, Upload podcast, and Upload with Dr. J. I send them my direct message, marketing my YouTube channel, telling them to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I always say in that message that they get that so many people don't know what their purpose is. And that's why there's so many problems in this world. So yeah, just want to throw that out there. But here goes a scripture verse, man. One of my favorite scripture verses. I reference it all the time on my YouTube channel. It's Matthew 7, verse 7-8. Jesus said, "Ask and it shall be given." You want to know why you don't know your purpose? Because you haven't asked. You have never asked God. And if you have, you didn't keep asking. That's the next verse. Everyone in verse 8, I'm just gonna skip to it. Verse 8, for everyone who asks receives. It says keep asking in that original verse and in the King James Version. If you keep asking, you'll receive the answer. That's why you don't know what your purpose is. You just stopped asking. You weren't consistent with God, like the persistent widow parable that Jesus told with the unjust judge and the widow. Read that story, learn it, listen to sermons on it, man. See, that's why it's important to know the Bible. If you don't know the Bible, you have no reference point of what path you should take and where you should go. You can't have your questions answered because you can't ask the right questions. How can you ask the right questions? We learned that if you're old enough, you learned that in work and in interviews. You can't ask the right questions if you don't have the right information. And if you don't know what you're talking about, right? I keep on going. You guys get what I'm saying? Let's go back to Matthew 7, verse 7-8. Ask and it shall be given. Jesus said, seek and you will find. Guys, if you lose your car keys, will you find it if you don't look for it? If you lost $1 million, can you find it if you don't look for it? Well, that's a different scenario, but you guys get what I'm saying, man. So you gotta knock. Like Jesus said, knock and the door will be open on you. Let's go to verse 8. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks, the door will be open unto them. Right? So the door can't be open unto you if you don't go knocking for it. If you don't, you can't reach see, it is in order too. It's funny because ask, seek, and find, right? You guys get that? No, well, ask, seek, and knock. Those are the three things you just said. Ask, seek, and knock. It's funny because the first letter of all those words, ask A, seek S, knock K. It's ask again. Ask. It starts with a question, right? You can't find your purpose if you don't ask the question, right? You gotta ask the question. It's an acronym, right? Ask, seek, and find. Knock. It's in that order. So check out my playlist, Purpose. Me and John will talk about that on my podcast, our podcast together, Crossroads. Um, yeah, but anyways, so dang, there's so much I want to say, but guys, we knock on the wrong doors because the last step is knock, right? So ask, seek, and then knock. We knock on the wrong doors, and there's so many doors we can knock on. So many doors to, open up to us when we knock. Like you can have sex with anybody, honestly. You can marry anybody, honestly. But is it good for you? Right? Is it the best thing? See, that's a different question. Is it a good thing or is it the best thing? Right? That job you got, that path you want to take, that person you're interested in. I keep on going. All those that aligns with your purpose, right? So do those things like is it a good thing or is it the best thing? Will it help you to go with your purpose and be in line with your purpose? You guys know what I'm saying? There's so much I can go with that, but man, we there's so many doors we can knock on, man. You can do anything, but you can't do everything, right? So many doors we can knock on, right? You can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And the reason why we got so many problems in this life, so many reason why we don't know our purpose because we go to the wrong places, we do the wrong things, and in that process of doing all those things, we lose sight of our purpose. Because this is what you should have been doing in the first place. So let me just get to it, man. I'm gonna ask you a question. How do you get to your purpose? How do you get to your purpose? How do you figure out your purpose? I want you to think about that, all right, before I go to it. Because I'm going to do an analogy real quick, an example for myself. Like, this is an example for me. My ex, man, like, she only said two profound things ever in my life. Just two. And we dated for 3 years. So, and these things were from God. I already know it was. I don't remember what the first one is. I'll remember over time. But the first thing Taylor said was, when you start when will you she asked me a question. She said, when will you start living your life instead of writing about it? Because I kept a journal since uh December 2009. That's when I kept a journal. So since high school. And this is my junior year of high school. So I have 90 journal books, about 90 or 105 of them, right? All I did was journal. If you saw the cartoon Doug, I talk about it on my YouTube channel all the time. If you saw the cartoon Doug, you saw that Doug a journal and then write in it. That's what I used to do because I'm an artist, right? And there's some pictures on my YouTube channel at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. Those beginning videos, check it out. Upload past Crossroads, all right? And so, yeah, Taylor asked me, when we start living your life instead of writing about it, because that's all I did. That's all I did. And it's debatable how you can look at that, but it could be said I was wasting my life just writing about it. But honestly, some people know what I was doing. I know what I was doing. I was seeking my purpose. I was documenting, writing down, and taking notes on all the sermons I was listening on, everything God was saying, on everything God was, giving unto me. And try not to miss a beat, try not to miss a blessing. Just writing it all down. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings for what good things God has done. I was praying, seeking, reflecting, focusing on the details. Right? You guys get what I'm saying? And so I was trying to figure out what God wanted from me and what God wanted me to do. And over time, I got that definite answer. And I'm still getting that definite answer. And you're not going to get it all at once. All right. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. You're not going to get it all at once. It comes in bunches. He ain't going to give you everything up front. It's too much for you to bear. Like you can't handle it. You don't have the maturity to take it. Little children, man. Everything's coming back together. All right. So remember everything I'm saying. It always connects. All my YouTube videos, everything. Right. The whole Bible does. It's a whole puzzle piece. So I do my best to try to interpret that and paint that picture for everybody. So how do you get to know your purpose, man? This is how you get to know your purpose. Your purpose. You got to ask these questions. Ask the acronym. Ask, seek, and knock. Like Jesus said, the acronym is ask for all the first letters of those words. Right? So, how do you get to know your purpose? You got to ask the right questions. Here goes the questions you need to ask. What are you passionate about? That's your purpose. What drives you crazy and you feel like could be done better, that people are butchering and ain't and doing an awful job doing, that you can do a better job at doing. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. And also, you can have more than one purpose. I hope you can know that everybody's different. Some people are called to do multiple things. I know I am, and it's a burden because the jack of all trades, the master of none. But hey, it's about trying to master something. But anyways, let me keep on going. So What gets you up every single morning? That's how you figure out your purpose. What gets you up every single morning? What can't you go a day without doing that you know you should be doing? I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. You see where I'm going, right? So, what do you love to do, and you can do without getting paid to do, right? So this is where we're going at, man. So this is how you figure out your purpose, man. So those some of those things are a good thing, but is it the best thing? Is it the best thing? That's what you're called to do, the best thing. You ain't called to do a good thing. God don't want you to just do a good thing, an okay thing. That's why your life's okay. That's why your life is, you feel like it's pointless. That's why you get bored because you ain't doing what God called you to do. Because you're doing what God called you to do. Man, it's the best thing, the best life. You're gonna not saying you're not gonna have struggles, not saying you're not gonna have pain. You are, but it's the best thing. It's the most beneficial thing. It's the thing that's gonna expand the kingdom to to a huge amount. I don't know what word I'm trying to look for, but hey, you guys know what I'm saying, man. So, man, how else do you figure out your purpose, man? You got to spend time with the creator and figure out what you were created for. That's my first ever video on YouTube. I'm embarrassed of it because your first ever videos are always the most embarrassing. But check out that video, man. Like you got you got to go to God's word. You got to spend time with Him. You want to figure out what you're called to do, man? Ask the person who created you, man. Ask again. You got to ask. Have you asked? Have you kept on asking? Have you kept on seeking? Have you kept on knocking? If you haven't, don't expect to get the answer. You get what you put in. You get what you do. You get what you want. And God loves you so much, He only gonna give you what you want, right? He only gonna God loves you so much, He's only gonna come give you. You guys know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna keep on going. So you have an important task ahead of you. Arguably, this is the most important task. You want to know why there's so many problems again in this world? Because nobody knows their purpose. They get bored because they ain't doing what they called to do. So, what will you give the world? What will your legacy be? What did God call you to do that only you can do? Again, the same question. What did God call you to do that only you can do? And are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Do it. Stop talking. Do it. All right. So, have you been doing it or have you been slacking? Right? To him who knows what to do and don't do it, it's a sin. That's a Bible verse. Check it out. Google it. To him who knows what to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin. So now you know. I'm sorry to do this to you. I gave you some of the answers you've been wanting. So now if you don't do it, it's a sin. You can burn in hell for this, man. So um now this is the only thing you should be trying to figure out, right? If you don't already know it. Right? If you don't know what your purpose is, you should be trying to figure this out with all your being. Man, am I saying that you should have all the answers now when it comes to your purpose? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Because again, like I said, you learn it in bunches. You don't get all the answers at once. And that to prove my point, Jesus said in John 13:7, He says, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you'll understand." I say that scripture verse all the time on my YouTube channel. You don't understand now what I'm doing, but later you'll understand it. Right? So you're not gonna know all your purpose right now, and that's okay, man. So don't get discouraged about that. And you're not gonna get the complete answer either. So I didn't know what mine was when I was journaling every day, but you learn it over time by spending more and more time with God. And how you spend time with God, listening to sermons, man, staying in His Word, reading His Word every day, man. All the answers that you were seeking, that you were asking, you need to seek in His Word because it's there with each and every single story. You get a revelation. You keep on learning, and this is something you're gonna be doing for all eternity. You can never learn everything, right? So when I was journaling every day and spending time with God and doing things I was passionate about and what I loved doing and what burdened my soul that I feel like I can do better than other people, that's when I figured out my purpose, man. So this is how you figure it out. And one of my favorite hymns of all time, man, is we will understand it better by and by. Man, if you don't know that hymn, man, just go to a black church. Go to any black church. I think they sing it. Not any black church, but like it had to be a small little congregation somewhere, like my dad's church at Scotts Chapel AME in Hermitage, Tennessee. So, anyways, this is the lyrics to the songs. We are often tossed and driven on the restless sea of time. Somber skies and howling tempests often see the bright sunshine. In that land of perfect day, when the mist has rolled away, we will understand it better by and by. And then it gets to the refrain, my favorite part, and we start clapping. I'm singing by and by, Lord, when the morning comes, when all the saints of God are gathering home. And then we will tell the story how we overcome, for we'll understand it better by and by. We'll understand it better by and by, right? You're not gonna get all the answers right once. You're not gonna get all your purpose at once. But what you get, you need to do something with it. You need to catch it, receive it, and run with it, and do it, right? Some of y'all receive, some of y'all, you haven't even received it, but some people have received it and ain't running the race. They just sat down and quit. Don't even want to do it because all the obstacles and challenges you're gonna face, man. We gotta do better, man. I'm gonna just bring this lesson home. I'll bring up First Corinthians 13 later. But guys, no, you know what? I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna stop being like this. So, guys, I'm doing a series on First Corinthians 13. So tune in my YouTube channel, Uplift Past Crossroads, for more. But here goes one of the parts. I'm gonna do it again, but it just ties in with what I'm talking about right now. Even though I'm 20 minutes already, I gotta do it, man. So 1 Corinthians 13, 9 through 12 says, "For we know in part and we prophesy in part." We know in part and we prophesy in part. That goes with everything in life, guys. Every scientist on earth don't know what God knows. Every basketball player on earth only has a small amount of knowledge when it comes to the game. I don't care who they are, what they do, how great they are. They have a small amount of knowledge when it comes in comparison to God. How much more do you think God know about basketball than these basketball players or football players or preachers, man? How much not, man? We argue about the stupidest stuff, and all of us only have a partial knowledge of what we're talking about because we look at things partially instead of the whole picture, bringing all of our conclusions and theories and everything together like God does. Because we all probably right. You know, the Republicans and Democrats, they all argue about stupid stuff. But at the end of the day, when you put it all together, it all comes together, right? Especially when it comes to like the flaws and what's bad about Republicans and Democrats. It's the same thing, but we argue about which side's right. When both of them make pretty good points and then pretty bad points, right? It's kind of stupid to judge, but you guys know what I'm saying. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. Man, you know part of your purpose probably, but you're not going to know it completely prior to you get to heaven, right? I hope you will figure it out now, but even then, there's so much more to learn and so much more to do. Like for me, for example, with my YouTube channel and this preaching and sermons and stuff, I only know in part with the lessons I teach. So when I do the lessons over again when I'm probably 60 years old, do you know how much knowledge I'm going to have? I'm only 27. Like, well, I feel old. When I said that out loud, felt like an old age. But guys, you get what I'm saying. Let me keep on reading, man. For we know in part and we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. What's completeness? Jesus. When Jesus comes back and we reign with him in heaven, and when a rapture comes, when all that happens, and the earth is obliterated, and heaven is earth now, right? The New Jerusalem, and God is reigning with us, and it is in the midst of, not even in the midst of us, it's right there with us. How? And we can interact with him. It hit my funny bone. But anyway, so man, but when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. We get all the answers we want. That's not saying we're gonna know everything, but all the answers is right there, and we'll have way more knowledge than what we got now. It'll be all truth. Now all the truths being succumbed and especially with the news outlets. Oh, I hate the news. I hate TV, man. Like all mainstream stuff. Like they feed you with lies, all lies. Like imagine when we get to all the truth, and only the truth is spoken, and no lies, man. That's when the in part disappears, right? That's why you got questions now. So you need to go to the source to figure out what your question is. And dang, my daily Bible's connection. And then again, all right. Hopefully, I stop talking for you guys. All right. So let's bring this to conclusion, man. So verse 11 of 1 Corinthians 13. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I acted like a child, I thought like a child, for I was a child. Right? Verse when I became a man, I had to put away childish things, right? Then verse 12, for we now we see only a reflection as in a mirror, then we shall see face to face, right? Face to face, Jesus, that reiterates what I was saying. For we only see a reflection back then. Basically, metal was the mirrors that they had. So they didn't have perfect mirrors like we had. They had metal for their mirrors, and the mirrors got blurry. You can barely see yourself in a metal mirror. Look at metal and try to pick a zit or something. Do your makeup on glass. I mean, not glass, on metal. See how successful you go. So like it, the picture's foggy. That's what your knowledge is right now when it comes to anything. Anybody. Steve Jobs when it came to computers. Bill Gates even. Like these guys know a lot, right? But they only know in part, man. Their picture of what it is ain't the same picture God got for what it is, right? Same thing for you, man. So like it's blurry. It's a reflection, but it's blurry, right? So dang, and my connection went out again. Let me hurry up. Come on, come on. All right, cool, cool. All right, so now I know in part, then I shall fully know, even as I'm fully known. All right, so you guys get that. Get ready. 1 Corinthians 13. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Upload Past Crossroads. I got a playlist, 1 Corinthians 13. Check it out. Uplift Past Crossroads. All right. So, all right. So this is why you should never be bored. There's so much more to learn, to grow in every area that there is on this earth. You don't know everything. You don't have all the answers. You're not the best, even if you are the best. So you need to fight to be that, to give glory and honor to God with all your being and all your might. Glorify Him with the path that He called you to do, right? So you guys get what I'm saying, man. So quit being a child, quit living childishly, quit having a childish mindset. It is a childish mindset to live selfishly and to just think about yourself and make yourself happy instead of serving the world with the purpose that God called you to do. Because that's your purpose is gonna benefit others. It's gonna benefit the world if it's really from God. Quit being so selfish and think about yourself, right? So it's time for you to grow up. It's time for you to be mature in your faith. It's time for you to do things that mature Christians do. This is what mature Christians do. They know what the purpose is. They ask the right questions. This is what a difference is between an adult and a kid. A kid don't know what questions to ask. A kid don't know where to go. A kid is lost, right? A kid is unknowledgeable, immature, weak, ordinary. So where does that go spiritually? Childish people are unsaved. They're lost little babies, baby Christians, right? They're even wicked, right? These are the people that need the most love. The people who are ugly to you, who are just the most ruthless and just negative people in your life. They need the most love, right? Didn't that used to be you to an extent, right? But God showed you love. And what did Christ do to people who want to persecute him and kill him? Love them. Like, so what do you think you should do? Forgive others, and then you'll be forgiven, right? Love others as I have loved you. Do be unto others as Jesus was to you. You're supposed to be a reflection of Christ. This is what a mature Christian does. So man, I keep on going. But I ain't doing it. I'm saving it. 1 Corinthians 13. Check it out. So this lesson was about being bored. Are you still bored? Are you bored? I hope not. There's a lot of work to be done, right? Man, be bored no longer. All right. If you're bored, be bored no longer. There ain't no reason to be bored anymore, right? And there is way too much work for the Lord to be done to be bored. That's this video, man. This video today was about being bored. I hope you ain't bored no more. There's no excuse now. I'm bored. I have nothing to do. All right. All right. All right. So guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Upload Past Crossroad. Thanks so much for tuning in. Trouble Don't Last, my Instagram page, not the Instagram page. My _ daily _ Bible, man. Thank you so much for your support. Share this video, man. If you love it, share it. Sorry for the beginning. I was having bad connection problems, man. We're gonna get this situated one day. But man, my YouTube channel, Upload Past Crossroads. My podcast, Upload Past Crossroads. My Facebook page, Sean Christopher Jenkins. LinkedIn, Sean Christopher Jenkins. Thanks for tuning in, man. So much work to be done. It's time for us to do it, man. You wanna know why this world's a bad place? Because you ain't doing your job. God's children ain't doing their job. We're called to be the light of the world. We should know what our purpose is so we can help others find theirs. And our purpose comes from Jesus, comes from God. No excuse, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We got to go to Him. All right? So that's this video, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. Have a great and stupendous rest of your day. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. Cheers to the freaking weekend. TGIF. That song, Katy Perry, or whoever sings Lady Gaga. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Peace out. I'm done. I'm done. Peace. Peace.